Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is a Saturday, it is a Saturday morning. This taste of toothpaste is fresh in the mouth, and hopefully something else will provide freshness to our day. Will be a Liverpool side reinvigorated by the signings. Maybe. We shall see in a moment. If you want to get involved and give us your thoughts on the team, then you can do in the... Chris is just flying mooned me. That's great. I managed to close my eyes for the full moon. I only caught the crescent. Don't worry, I'll have my revenge. Yes, whatever the team ends up being, we'll discuss it in a second with Chris Pager, but let us know your thoughts on me. He'll come back over to me and we'll go through some of your best comments in a moment. But we do know it. We've known this for a little while now. Kabak. Ozan Kabak is making his debut, but who constitutes the other 10 men in the side with, as confirmed in the press conference, no Fabinho? Chris Pager.
Right, okay, so we'll start off with the goalkeeper then. We've got Alisson Becker in goal. We've got Andy Robertson playing left back. No surprises there. Jordan Henderson actually partners Kabak. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold round off the back four. In midfield, it looks like Gini Wijnaldum's going to play the 6 with James Milner and Kurt Jones. No Thiago today. And I've been talking about this on the starting 11 for a little while now, about how Thiago's come back from injury and basically played every single game for absolutely ages. So for me, it was about time that he was going to be rested. I didn't actually think it would be the Leicester game, if I'm honest. I did think it might be maybe the next game or whatever, but big game today, big decision by Jurgen Klopp to partner James Milner, Curtis Jones and Gini Wijnaldum in the centre of the park. Then of course we've got Sadio Mane, we've got Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino in there as well. Substitutes, we've lined them up differently today. Normally I do it by position. What we've done this time, as per Paul's instructions, was line up the lads that you think have got a chance of coming on, which I've done, and then we've lined up the lads who we don't think have got a chance of coming on, which I've done. So we've got Adrian. Let's hope that he's in that column right there, instead. Kostas Tsimikas, Shaqiri, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Thiago, and then Nico Williams, Phillips, Williams, double checking, Clarkson and Adrian are the substitutes. So we don't really want to see anyone on this column. We don't actually, you know what, if there's... Yeah, okay, I'll just leave it as the 3 lads that I'd actually like to come on there. Not even sure you can see Kostas Tsimikas anymore, but anyway, the joke's been made, so we'll move them around. So yeah, a couple of big decisions there from Jurgen. I think the midfield is probably the biggest one. Obviously, we know Jordan's gone back in. He'll slot into that left-sided centre-half alongside Kabak and stuff, but I mean, I suppose the next question is, are Liverpool going to play 4-3-3? Paul, I guess we will do, mate.
I would suggest that's 4-3-3, yeah, based on what we've seen in the last few weeks. I think Kurt Jones deserves a run in there. I think he's been really good when called upon. I think we need his energy in midfield. I think we need him floating around in front of the front 3 certainly as well. And then yeah, the big one as you mentioned, though, Thiago. But the decision to keep Jordan Henderson at centre half, and what's interesting as well is no Ben Davies for the second game on the run, not even making the substitutes bench in a team that's got 2 other centre halves on there. Right now we don't know, and we'll throughout this show we're going to keep our eyes peeled to see if we can get any more updates on a couple of the decisions, because you tend to find that James Pearce or whatever might come out with something a little bit more in a moment or two. But there's a couple of big questions there, and the questions are, where's Divock Origi? The question is, where's Ben Davies? And the other one, which is something we can maybe have a speculate on, is, do we think that if Fabinho had been fit, that Henderson would have been in midfield? Definitely. Or Fabinho would have been in midfield?
I think Henderson would have gone into the middle of the park, and I can understand both. We've had some good discussion this week, certainly on the build-up around who's more important to get back into the centre of the park and stuff. I think what Jordan lacks, Fabinho doesn't give us, but and nobody in the squad gives us what Jordan gives us in the 8.
Took me a moment to work out the syntax there, but yeah, absolutely, yeah, you're totally.
So that for me is where it would have been, but I totally understand dropping Hendo when Fabinho's not going to be available, and dropping him into the centre of the defence and stuff like that. Now, what's also quite interesting, I think, from that is, obviously we want to see the new boy, we want to see how he settles into this side, but the midfield is where it's at for me. I think Milner and Jones would never have been in this game together with Gini Wijnaldum had Fabinho been fit, I would guess. I just can't imagine that would have been the case. One of Fabinho or Henderson definitely would have been in there. So for me, really big decision by Jurgen to go with that midfield three, putting a lot of trust into those lads as well. A lot of trust into Kurt Jones to be able to sort of link the midfield and the attack, because we know Milner can do that. And, you know, he hasn't had as many minutes over the last couple of weeks, James Milner. Like, when he first got into that midfield, he was brilliant. You know, he was playing that sort of role behind the strikers, and he was everywhere. Can the two of them do that? And will they do that against Leicester today? Because rumours are, and the team's coming up now, it looks like it's a three at the back from Leicester, which is interesting because they've been playing very much a 4-2-3-1. He has gone to three at the back on occasion, but they have been playing 4-2-3-1 for a few weeks now.
That midfield of theirs, and not how it's necessarily laid out in the three at the back or the five, whatever you want, however you want to slice it, but indeed, Tielemans, Barnes, Maddison through the middle. You know, it's not like it's going to be a solid compact midfield four or whatever, but there's lots going on there. You know, Harvey Barnes is class. We know Maddison's can be really good on his day as well. We know indeed, he came back into the side. He actually played briefly in the FA Cup game in the week, didn't he? Tielemans, good player. That's a big ask, and I'm a little concerned, if I'm honest. The Milner, Wijnaldum, Jones thing. I mean, we've freshened it. I think that's clearly what's gone on here. You mentioned that Thiago definitely needed to be pulled a little bit, you know, not because I think he's been bad, because I think, and some people I'm sure will see this as causality. They will look at it, all the absolute,
we did this on Twitter.
All the fucking morons who've been like, oh, he's not very good and he slows us down, which is nonsense, complete and utter nonsense. We'll see this as like a cause and effect kind of situation, when it's not. I agree with you, is that he probably could have done with just having... Look at what we've got on the bench and work it backwards. If you all of a sudden you've got Milner on the bench and then your sub options are Shaqiri, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, how are you changing the game? And I'm not sure I'm not sure it's all that or it's all one or the other, but it might be an overall contributing factor, because that is not a great substitutes bench. We are at as threadbare as we've probably been for a couple of weeks.
This game's going to be won on the midfield battle, and Tielemans, Ndidi, Maddison and Barnes is probably where it's at for them, isn't it? You know what I mean? And they've got the numerical advantage in the middle of the park there on paper anyway, if that's exactly how they line up. I mean, you know, Ndidi's been missing for a few games, so hopefully it'll take him a little bit of time to get up to speed of the game. We know Tielemans has been playing well. Harvey Barnes has been in exceptional form, as has Maddison, and Vardy's come back in as well. You know, we mentioned on the build-up show he might not have scored from open play since early December, but he's obviously had the penalty. I think it was against Tottenham Hotspur, and he still had an assist over the last couple of weeks before his injury and stuff like that. And we know what Jamie Vardy's going to be like, and we know how he's going to attack us, and it'll be interesting to see, because I think this is two sides that are going to go out there and try and dominate the ball today. Very different to the games that we've seen recently, other than maybe Manchester City. But even Manchester City, we had more possession than they did. They just unfortunately battered us.
Yeah, and we absolutely imploded in the face of whatever good stuff we were doing as well. Andrew Beasley's put a tweet out here which says Ozan Kabak makes his debut today, and Liverpool have their 17th centre-back pairing of the season, 13th in the league. And I mean, and that's the annoying thing about the Fabinho stuff, is there'll be an 18th and 14th partnership at some point in the coming weeks.
And probably a 19th.
Yeah, but by the time Davies or maybe even more, because who knows at the moment if Davies, and again, we still don't know anything more about Davies, maybe he's just miles off the level or miles off the pace, or maybe he's carrying something, a little injury thing, and they're not prepared to discuss it or whatever. We just it's pure speculation.
And again, look, we've got a new centre-back partnership. Is this a new midfield?
Almost certainly. Yeah.
And we expect consistent performances from inconsistent sides, and that's where we're wrong as fans, isn't it? You know, why have Liverpool been poor? Why haven't we had that consistency? Well, we haven't had a consistent side all season long, and again today, going into a big game, a genuine, I believe, 6-pointer for Liverpool's, you know, ambitions of finishing second or third. I think this is a 6-pointer for us. You know, you don't want to be out of that race. You don't want to be fighting with fourth. But again, we're not able to do it because of the Fabinho thing. Yeah,
it's another It's another game, unfortunately, where going away. Let's just looking not to be fatalistic on it, but going away from home and getting a draw against Leicester City is not the worst result. But because of where we've left ourselves, you leave yourself with a mountain to climb, and you leave yourself needing to go and win. And it's not even so much as, because this is a mad season. So in a normal world, this is Leicester's opportunity to gain some points back on us, really, because obviously we beat them at Anfield on the balance of our season goes. But it's what it does to the teams below. You have Chelsea breathing down our neck. Everton have got Everton winning their games in hand. We'll put them above us anyway. We've already been in this situation. This is what we were like when we were top and we were looking down the table, like 7 places down the table at City who had games in hand going, we need to make their games in hand not matter. And that's what we very much need to do right here. And it's a big ask because they're a really good team. There's every chance Leicester come and give us a nightmare of an afternoon here. But hopefully it's another example where I think a disjointed mismatched team causes you problems against teams that are just going to come and defend for their lives. Leicester will try and play footy. They've got the players to play football, which gives us opportunities to play around them should we need to. Scott Hawks with the $25 super chat. Scott, you wonderful human being. He says it's 3:35 a.m. Christ. So as fascinating as it is to see how Kabak and Curtis do today, I'm more fascinated by Mitch's new haircut. Thank you, mate. The team goes blood and thunder for Jaeger and gets that win. Come on, you ready? I'm going for Egon Spengler meets Hawkeye from Endgame. Not on Egon purpose. Spengler. Yeah. It's right. I always point this out because there's some people among the Liverpool fan base, and they're very small minority, mercifully, who think about people who think people outside of Liverpool don't support the football club as much the same way. I say this right now. I'm from Liverpool, born and bred, my home club town football team my entire life. I would not support Liverpool Football Club if their games kicked off at fucking 25 to 4 in the morning. I'd find something else to do. I'm just genuine. So massive.
Sleep?
What?
Sleep?
100%. Yeah, whatever. Like, but I mean, I would find something to fill the times of the day that you know what I mean. Liverpool wouldn't exist at 12:30 on a lunchtime kickoff. Yeah, switch it round. Yeah, if we get baseball in return, whatever it is, I'd watch more cricket.
James
Scott,
Lynn super chatted, sorry, as well. £5. Origi's probably practicing his finishing. Well, we won't see him for a while then.
Drink Josh saying is Klopp going to be at the King Power regarding personal circumstances? Wouldn't mind if he took time for himself. I believe so. I can't imagine he wouldn't be. I mean, Jürgen is a pragmatist, and as much as I think there are certain things that crop up in life where you do need to go and take time for yourself and do whatever, there's no... What's he going to do? You know what I mean? He's the kind of man who'd just be sat at home watching this, thinking I could be on the touchline, impact and stuff. I think it's a testament to his strength as a man.
Seen Robbie Savage's top 6 prediction there. City, United, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool in 5th and Everton in 6th.
Robbie Savage knows what he's doing. He is a professional gobshite, which I have a modicum of respect for. There's plenty of them on YouTube who've made a very big living for themselves. We do a little bit of it, let's be honest, as natural gobshites ourselves. But no, he knows what he's doing there. I don't think he genuinely believes that Chelsea will finish above Liverpool. If he does, maybe that hair belies a serious head injury, which I can attest to. Yes, thanks so much to everyone who's got involved so far. The Origi stuff's a bit mad that I'm sure we'll know in short space of time.
Ian Doyle, James Pearce, they'll probably tweet in about 10 minutes time.
Yeah,
that's why he's not involved in the squad.
Yeah, just in time. But yeah, we will be back at 12:15 for the watch along, doing a commentary, talking through some more of your questions and answers and all that good stuff as well. So do join us. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed. I imagine if it's the early kickoff and BT, it means it's Fletcher McManaman, I'd guess. Like, I don't mind them, but loads of people dislike them. If you dislike them more than you dislike us, come and listen to our commentary alongside. You just mute your telly, sync us up, and then we'll have a good laugh while we're doing it. So yeah, do come and check that out. But yeah, promises to be a very, very exciting game indeed. Hopefully 3 points for the mighty Reds. If you believe it will be, drop a like on the video, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and check back in about half an hour's time ahead of kickoff. See you there. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Diogo Jota everywhere. Right hand side, left hand side, deep as well.
If you want to request a song as well,
how do they do that, Paul?
You just literally go, give us a song. Bloody round the field.
It's a no.
Oh, this doesn't feel great. Do you know what? The chocolate's melting and it's slipping out of my hand.
Oh, it's wobbly! It's a wobbly biscuit! The champions are back on top of the pile.